Well, good afternoon, everyone. Good morning, perhaps, and maybe even good evening. It is wonderful to see you all. Mr. Rod, the madness is here. Miss Julia has just joined, and many of the other guys who are, it looks like, watching. Thank you so much for being here. It is a kind of a spontaneous session. I got to tell you, I had great fun last year doing this between Christmas and New Year, streaming occasionally, maybe even every day, to do this on Twitch, because it's kind of nice to get the holiday spirits going. So thank you so much for doing that with me. It's time for a bit of a crazy experiment. First of all, perhaps with a bit of music that I might go and get going here. I don't know if we can actually hear it. Let's try it out. This could be that. Is this it? Yeah, there we go. We're hearing something. It's kind of my dreamy beats collection, so let's see how that goes. From Epidemic, currently The Close by Musk. I'd like to try something today, and I really don't know if it's going to work or not, but bear with me. So it's a total experiment. I'm going to go load DAZ Studio and show you what I'm trying to do. Maybe we get to the bottom of it. I'm going to use something super exciting called the Russian 3D scanning software. It's a new tool I bought myself just before Christmas for Black Friday and all. See if it's good. See if it helps in this job. So I am sure you have seen the friendly low poly Synty Characters, and I'm just going to go and load my man in here. Here he is. He doesn't have textures at the moment, but you know, that's okay. He's also, usually he looks a little bit more blocky than this, and I think I can emulate that by just switching off the smoothness. There we go. That's what he looks like. And you know, there's like several characters and stuff, but of course they are either FBXs that don't import well into DAZ Studio, or they're OBJs, which means they're not at all rigged. So I'm trying to rig this guy with the transfer utility so that I can manipulate him with the power pose tool here, which currently isn't there because he's not a rigged figure, so that he basically behaves like a Genesis figure. So that means I could treat him like an item of clothing. So we'll see if that works somehow. and transfer all the Genesis rigging into there. That'll be interesting if it works. The other option, so the trouble that I have with that is that the Genesis figure, in my case, I might just go and try this out with Genesis 3, or maybe with 8. Well, it doesn't matter what I do. Let me just go and show you the problem. There is Genesis 8 figure. I'm going to use my male dev load. This is a male character. That's like 50% women, 50% men. And I like to use them as background characters because I'm having these Synty blocky sets, and then the main characters are going to be high-res DAZ characters, but the background characters are all going to look like this. So the problem is that the proportions aren't correct. If we ignore the fact of the pose, I can see that the hips are in a different place and the shoulders are also in a different place. The head's probably okay, but the dimensions of the head are not correct. So if I go and use the transfer utility now, I'll end up with something that's just not in the right place. So I'd either have to turn him into an A pose, but even then there's a lot of modeling that I have to do, and I'm not the best modeler, so I'm going to not do that manually. Let me see what happens if I just use my Genesis 2 character here, just because he's in the T pose. I think, do I have 3? I've got 3 as well. 3 Genesis male 3. I'll use him just because he's in the T pose, and I can show you the issue that I'm having if I use the transfer utility without anything after a second or so. Yeah, Rod, let's blow things up together. Yes, and thank you so much for the Christmas card that you guys have sent. That's much appreciated. Here we see this more pronounced, so the shoulders are not in the right place. The head we can probably get away with, but if we just go and use this transfer utility under assets, transfer utility, source item, Genesis 3, target item, businessman, and options, well, we don't want to fit it or parent it, and we don't want to have that smoothing modifier. Takes DAZ Studio only a minute to do, and we're already done. Look at that, business guy is already rigged. Let me go and get rid of him, and there we go. So he now has rigging, as we can see, probably, hopefully, from this little guy. So we have full posing enabled here. Whoops, that's a bit too much, but there we go, full posing. There's also within reason there's weight map, so it kind of works. It's kind of good. He can also move his arms and all that to a certain extent, so it does work. So it's it's kind of cool. Maybe maybe that's it already. Stream over. We also have hands, but I think the hands might have issues because so hands that doesn't work. But that's okay. We don't need hands. So they don't really have hands. So the problem is, though, if I choose my bone editor here, I can see that the skeleton isn't in the correct place. So the hips aren't where they should be, the collarbones aren't where they should be, and that of course has an issue if I'm going to go and try to move this guy's arm now. This kind of works okay. Actually, this kind of works okay. It's not bad, actually. This is the shoulder. It kind of also works okay. But certain poses, if I dial them in, like the lower arms, this isn't looking too healthy here. So it's probably because, if I twist this up, not that he would do that much, but it doesn't look great. And that's, of course, because the skeleton just isn't in the right place where it should be. So one of those things. Hey, Mr. Jeremy, how's it going? So we're going to try and do this better than it currently is. My first idea was in fact to go to the bone editor and then use this little guy here, that sometimes when we import morphs and the skeleton kind of changes, or the mesh changes and the skeleton is no longer in line with it, we can use the thing that is called something, align maybe, something about transfer rigging, no, adjust rigging to shape. There we go. If we do that, usually what happens, we say, okay, fine. That usually puts the skeleton into the position of the mesh. But I guess in this case, it doesn't work because this guy was never a morph for the Genesis figure. So rather than me trying to futz him, in Blender with making the shoulder slightly lower and maybe making the hips slightly higher and all that, I'm going to have my friend 3DS Wrap do that for me. That's going to be pretty exciting. And of course, also going to be an experiment because it's not something that that works well. So we're gonna try all kinds of things. I'll go and delete this guy, also delete this guy. I also need the Genesis 3 dev rig, just so that before we get on with Genesis 8 experiments, let me go and show you my first experiment in which I may have made a bit of a mistake. Yes, this is what came out. Technically, this is now a morph of the businessman, or the Genesis morph for the businessman. So that was not so good. Let's see if we can avoid that and do something, a little bit better. Jeremy, thank you so much for subscribing for 13 months. My goodness, that is crazy. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate that. Tempus fugit, I like it. So what I've done there, and I will use 3DS Wrap to make that happen, / try to make that happen, was that I tried to make the Genesis the floating geometry and then make the Synty guy the static geometry. But now I'd like to do the other way around. So I'm going to basically deliberately distort the Synty guy into something that's going to look pretty terrible, but it will allow me to, how do I say this? It will allow me to apply the transfer utility and the rigging. Then I'll import the original guy back as a morph, bringing him back to his original size, and that'll be the first slider onto which I can then probably apply this, this thing I've just shown you. So lots to take in. I know, boys and girls, but it's one of those things. Let's see if we can make it happen. Here we need 2 nodes, I think, maybe load geometry, first one, and another one, load geometry. Jeremy, I've just seen on Steam that you're the proud owner of the perpetual license of Substance Painter. That's very cool. Did you see my latest ArtStation post in which I'm showing you that you can actually render in iRay directly from Substance Painter? That is very cool. You don't have to export the maps and render in DAZ Studio or in Blender or whatever. You can render right there in Substance Painter. Very cool. Let's be clever about this. This is going to be our floating, this is going to be a fixed geometry. So this guy is going to be the Synty businessman. If I only remember where that Synty test, there we go. So businessman goes in here. There we go, that's him. Never mind the scale. We're going to work that out. This is going to be our floating geometry, and then here we're going to have our fixed geometry, which I'm going to actually use my Genesis 3 dev load for. Let me just go and install that. I don't have that, just so that I don't have the maps. It's still the part of the computer crash. Not everything is back. Genesis 3 dev load. We don't have that. How dare you! Oh, that's what it's called, developer kit. Perfect. Ooh, disabled American veteran, thank you so much for following. I appreciate that. Happy holidays to you, my friend. Let's see what we can do here. Is it installed? It's all installed. Good stuff. So the dev load, just in case you didn't know this, the dev loads for Genesis 8 are always included, but for 3 they are not. And I think recently installed should show them up. I think here they are. There, I'll say mail dev load. They just don't have textures, make it a little bit easier to do things like that. So this is just a trial. I'm going to try and get this guy aligned with my guy in a business suit. So I will go and say export. High res, low res doesn't really matter at this point. G3M T-pose. I'll go and export that. We don't need the maps, but 100% is good. And here we go. Now we go load him in. G3M T-pose. And then we're going to have the 3DS Wrap work some magic in which hopefully it will go and apply. It will turn the Synty guy into a Genesis kind of shape, for for what is this? Hype train incoming. All right. I don't even know what that is. You'll have a limited time to earn exclusive emotes. Ooh, that's nice. I think this is the first time I'm seeing this. The hype train, all right. Sub, gift, or use bits to get the next level. 94%. Guys, thank you so much. This is awesome. This is so cool. Riz Modis, thank you so much for subscribing. Oh, this is what happens, is it? You have a lot of people subscribe in a short amount of time and we're on the hype train. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Welcome in. And jump up on the hype train. So let's see if I can remember how to do this. Loaded the geometry. If I, in the simplest form, if I wanted to align these two guys up, I think I'll use alignment and put a wrapping node in place here. And this is that. This is the floating geometry, which is the Synty guy. And then this here is the fixed geometry, which is this guy. This may or may not work. Yes, it says floating geometry contains 8 disconnected polygon components. It should be 1. Really? This is my floating? Really? It has disconnected things? Ay caramba, I didn't know that. Maybe we need to do some other things then in maybe select polygons. I thought it was just one thing. Let's go connect that to there, and then perhaps this is what we need to do. Is geometry subset. Yes, subset goes in here. So this is the real geometry. This is the subset, and out comes the thing we can probably, potentially, maybe even shape. So under select polygons, let's see what we can do there. Under visual editor, we want to just go and select everything, don't we? So these are the material groups. Oh my god, no, these are the poly groups. Could it be that the eyebrows were loose? So I'm just going to go on, add that to it. There we go. Maybe that'll solve it. Not entirely sure. Wrapping node says floating geometry, which I thought this is, has 8 disconnected polygon components. Should be 1. I don't know what it means. One of those things. What's disconnected? Do we need to merge him first in Blender? Kind of crazy. Oh yeah, okay. That's cool, Rod. After the holidays, you're going to go and attempt to switch the SSDs in that 2080 Ti machine, reload Windows, and try DAZ again. If you hear naughty expletive from halfway across the country, you'll know what just happened. Thank you for the warning, Rod. I appreciate that. What a shame. I don't really know what to make of this. It could just be that it's not all merged. Let me see if I can just go and merge this in Blender before I do anything else. Because DAZ didn't have a problem with it. It could just be as easy as, and you know, it is a crazy experiment for that very reason. Let's go and import Synty guy into here. So this is businessman. We want to have him not split or by group. We probably want to keep the vertex order, and let's go and see if this is what we need. Yeah, he's a little bit large, but that's okay. We're just going to go and say to Blender, you know what? You're all right, buddy. Don't you worry about it. So if I go into edit mode, do I really have disconnected bits and pieces? I'll go and select everything and say Control J. That's not it, is it? Maybe it's merging faces. It could be that, which I can never remember the shortcut for. Let's see what merge at center. That's it, isn't it? M. There we go. Merge at center. Let's do that. Oh, that's not so good. Ha. Let's not do that then. Was it just M? Was it Shift M? By distance. No, by distance. That was it. And by distance, maybe it's just the. Maybe it's just that. Could be that. I'm on the hype train, man. This is good. Do you know, Jeremy? Absolutely, because you are basically, how many miles are you away from Rod or me? Just as a rough example, is it about 6,000 miles? Kind of 8, maybe. I think it's like taking the circumference of the Earth into consideration. It's got to be around 6,000 to 8,000 miles. Maybe it's not 8, but certainly 5 to 6. See if this works. If I go and say export him now as an OBJ. G3 merged, I'll call it. Maybe that'll work. And let's say selection only. And I'll say, I mean, it doesn't really matter all that much. Well, it kind of does matter, doesn't it? If I go and you keep the vertex order and go boom. See what happens if I go and have this geometry now be the thing that we got out of Blender. So G3 merged. See what happens. Should look the same. I mean, does it? Is it? Reload. See if there's in an ideal world, I shouldn't really need these, and I should just go and this is the floating geometry. Go pop that in here. What do you think? Nope, still about the disconnected vertices or polygon components. Should be one. I really don't know what it means. And it's not complaining about this for a change, which I do have this with the Genesis components. This is the fixed geometry, shouldn't matter. Floating geometry gives me that error. So let's try something else then. Let's try to bring back my earlier floating geometry, namely just the regular businessman. And oop, there we go, that's him. And let's see if maybe the Genesis figure, oh no, sorry, I've made a mistake there. This is supposed to be the G3 MT pose. There we go. This guy here is supposed to be the original Synty character. So it didn't make any, it didn't make a difference. So I'll go and try that. And I will try instead to fix the floating geometry. So this guy here, he has mouth bags and stuff. So he might be what's freaking out the program. And he has, eyelashes and stuff. So I might go and take that out. But it's just a total attempt of seeing what happens here. So polygon selection, first of all. Let's pop that into here and under select polygons. Let me go and switch this over to materials. And now we're going to add everything that we'd like to be part of. So the eyelashes, no. The fingernails, I think yes. The toenails, yes, also. Maybe the cornea, yeah, I don't know. Maybe, yeah, okay, fine. Cornea, no, we don't really. Can we undo that? Yeah, it's not the cornea. It's probably the face. Yes, as everything in red that's supposed to be part of that group. So that's that face and that lips as well. Teeth, we don't need sclera. Torso, that's a good idea. And perhaps we're going to use the ears as well. Ears, that's always good. And we have the nails already. Looks like he's wearing what's it called here? The what do you call it when you put nails on your fingers, on your nails? What is that called again? Brain stopped working. I can't remember. Legs. There we go. Probably also a bit of the arm action here. That's hopefully everything that we need. So I'm thinking maybe we'd like to have something along the lines of the eyes here. We don't need the lashes. Eyes. Could be. Is it the irises? No, it's not the irises. What else could it be? Eye socket, eye moisture. Could it be socket? No, socket is that. I'm going to leave it like this. See if that works. Maybe. That's true. I'm so sorry, veteran, that you have that timeout. It really keeps the bots at bay. And I'm so sorry that I have to resort to these measures that were so plentiful at one point that I only had, less people in the chat, more spam bots. And this really deters them. So thank you for your patience. I appreciate that. Oh, you know what? That's true. I have actually bought it, and I've never installed the license that I've installed there. Good point. Yes, I need to investigate that. Currently, the trial is still active. Well spotted there. This wasn't actually via Humble Bundle. This was via a website called Russian3dscanner.com, and there are two versions of this program out there. There's one that's a ZBrush plugin, which I've also bought, and then there's a standalone version, and it costs you $400 usually, but the professional license is more expensive, so you can go and say indie license, and that's $370 or $99 for the year for a ZBrush plugin, which means you have to have ZBrush and you need to kind of know ZBrush. But on Black Friday, they did a 50% off deal, which was amazing. So I don't know, maybe they're going to do the same thing for Christmas. Watch out. If it does happen again, I will certainly put it out either on my Twitter or on the YouTube community tab, or hopefully both. Yes, Brian brought this to my attention. It's a really cool program. I really enjoy this. Let's see if it works now. Are you good? No, his floating geometry contains 8 disconnected polygon components, and it should be one. I don't know what that means. So maybe this isn't going to work with Wrap. I wonder if there might be, oh sorry, I haven't actually hooked it up. Dang, this is going to be under, is it geometry? No, I think it's under selection, isn't it? If I had to select polygons, I now have to have a subset of it. Isn't that right? Maybe it's geometry subset. I'm still very new to the software, so I'm not entirely sure how this works. So this goes into here. I think this goes into here, and then maybe this can be the fixed geometry. Is that making him happier? No, it still says that my floating geometry, i.e. the Synty guy, has an issue. And I really don't know what that means, because I didn't see any floating bits and pieces here. Not in Blender anyway. So it looks like we need to do plan B and do a bit of shuffling here in the manual. You know, just literally go and select vertices and stuff. That's gonna be crazy. Brian rocks. I totally agree. Yes, absolutely. So Wrap 3D, you can have so much fun with that. You can turn male morphs into, or male shapes into morphs for the female figures. You can use older generation morphs and use them as shapes on newer generation characters, or vice versa. You can literally grab body scans or scans from 3D websites and turn them into morphs for Genesis. Hours of fun, I'm telling you, hours of fun. Oh, nice, Rod, nice. This is so cool. This is another interesting tip. In case you didn't get it, there is a really cool Humble Bundle out for $30 right now that gets you PaintShop Pro, it gets you Painter, and it gets you Video Editor and a ton of brushes, and you can have so much fun with that for $30. Usually that's like $200, $300. $30 gets you all of these programs, and I bought it last year, and I never tried it out until this year, and fell so in love with it that I upgraded to this bundle, and even actually bought the latest version of PaintShop Pro and Painter from the Corel website, because my goodness, the stuff you can do with it, crazy good. So I'd really like to use Wrap for this, but I don't know what it is complaining about. Let's see if we can find a way. If I just go and grab my business suit, put them into DAZ Studio again. Maybe there's something I can do in DAZ Studio. Businessman. Because, you know, these Synty characters I also bought from Humble Bundle. So I buy all kinds of stuff from Humble Bundle because it's just so cool. If I have something, if I go and export this, I wonder if there's a way to merge things. I'll just call it maybe Businessman merged, just so that I get the feeling. What's this here? Invisible bones, ignore, use bone weld, triangulate. Triangular n-gons could be collapse UV tiles, right normals, faces, polylines, filter objects, right groups. But I don't see anything about disconnected bits and pieces. So in Blender, if that happens, you just go and, yeah, just go M by distance. I thought, but I might be wrong. It should also give me a status message. Maybe it wasn't that, actually. Maybe there's something else that is, what is that called again in Blender? If any of you know this, you know, that's a great idea. Yes, give it away as a gift. That is a really good idea. I mean, creative people like you know, Rod and me, we just enjoy toys to play with, especially if you can take your art to a next level. It doesn't actually matter if you ever do it or not, but if you got something that gets you excited, you know, something that makes you want to try things out, that's just wonderful. I really like that. I hear you, Rod, I hear you. How do we merge points again in Blender? Is it that maybe my website can help? This is something I frequently have to do, that I go to my website and literally search for something. I don't know if I've made a note of that. Merge points in Blender. No, that's not it. That's not it. How do we merge points in Blender? Usually I make a note of this on my website. And I thought that's how to do it. Oh yeah, also, if ever you're in that situation like I am and I just want text information, minus YouTube will get rid of all the videos from your search results. The easiest way to use is shortcut Alt-M, or you can enable auto-merge vertices and Control key to snap the vertices to one another. Alt-M, eh? Okay, well that's kind of what I tried, isn't it? Was it Alt-M? Let's see, Alt-M. Ah, split! No, that's not it. Split selection, faces by edges. No, that's not it. That can't be it. Blender 2.7, that's probably a little bit outdated. How to merge vertices? From 2015, that might also be outdated. Auto merging and snapping. There's also just merging in the documentation. That could work. This tool, and it's just M. Mesh merge, add center, collapse, add first, add last. It looks like we've done the right thing. Let's go and try it again, because usually if Blender is actually successful with that, it would give us a message there. Righty, so we have select everything, select M, and say add center. Let's see if there's anything. Oh, do I need to have I need to have something enabled there, don't I? Statistics, that's it. Statistics. Let's have a look at this closely. We have 837 vertices, kind of 1600 faces, 1610 faces. Okay, let's see what happens if we go M and say by distance. And then what? Enter. You need coffee. My goodness, Rod. I need coffee too. This is one of those stories, I got to tell you. There was a time when they had my special coffee on offer so often. Bustelo. I like Bustelo. Roasted right here in Miami, by the way. And I like buying these big yellow tubs that have that. And they were on offer so many times that I stocked up so much that I thought, you know what, I can't buy coffee anymore until I've used it all up. So I totally forgot to put coffee on my shopping list and added the decaf to it, which is what I dilute it with usually. And this morning I understand, wait, that was the last coffee from the yellow tubs. There's no more caffeinated coffee in my house. So very interesting. Crazy. So it looks like this isn't working, and it's a shame. That is a shame. So now I need to go buy some again, but now I'm on the decaf, so I don't really know what it's saying here. I mean, I know this problem from when I do it the other way around, when I try to wrap the Genesis character around the other guy, and the Genesis character has disconnected things like the eyeballs and stuff like mouth bags, and R3D isn't quite happy about that. So that's a bit of a problem. I can try one other thing. Let me try one other thing, and I'll do the same thing as I did here. So I'll go and say select polygons, and I'll make a subset of this. So under geometry we want a subset. It's a really ingenious way of modifying geometry on the fly. So we'll do this. Currently nothing has changed. In fact, it made it worse because we haven't selected anything here. So let's go and see if we can figure out by the face groups what the problem is. Maybe we'll just go and select everything. Can we do that? Now, I think I've tried that already, and that still said there was some things were disconnected. Yeah, so maybe if I just say select this, invert, and then also select, whoops, no, hang on, select invert, and then go and select that as well. There, that's now everything selected. There should be nothing disconnected anymore of this guy. How you doing? And it still says contains 8 disconnected polygon components, and it should be 1. Yes, I cannot work it out, like, I don't know what to do. Maybe we can't use this then. Do you know, now you're saying something, maybe ZBrush can help us out. I mean, that is another possibility, but I don't know, ZBrush could do that, what Blender can't do. I really don't know what it means about the disconnected polygon components, because if I say, oh, this is what it means. It means the face plate and the buckle here. Right, is that what it means? Oops. I think we're getting somewhere. I think we're getting somewhere. Oh, come on. Oh, it's shift here, isn't it? Every 3D application's modifier keys are different. So maybe this is what it means. This is what it's not quite happy about. So if I go and deselect everything, I say link this and that. Yes, I see. So these are things that are not, I suppose. Yeah, so this is actually not connected. But this is what it means. But then... But I tried to merge it and it didn't work, so I don't know what... I don't know what it means, like... That's my lack of Blender knowledge now biting me. What else is disconnected? If we just go and figure this out. There's this mouthpiece here. Is this Y? Yeah, this is Y. And then there were the eyebrows. So this is exactly what Wrap is complaining about. Then there's this. What else is disconnected? If I go and just figure this out, there's this here. GY. Oh yeah, I see. And then we have these things that are now separate. So I'm sure there's got to be a way to just make them all, turn them all into one mesh. Maybe my distance wasn't quite enough. Could that be? I thought Control J. Hello, Brian, by the way. Wonderful to see you. You think Control J is only... I thought that only worked in object mode. Does that work in edit mode as well? Because that would have just earned you literally the cookie. So I've just done it. Control J. Let me see what happens if I Shift L. No, see, it hasn't done it. I think Control J for joining, that only works in object mode. So I'd have to first of all split all these things out into individual objects. But maybe that's not actually that big a deal. So if I go and say, do this, and then I say Control P, I think, make vertex parent. No, that's not it. It's just P, is it? Separate material loose parts. Separate loose parts. Is that good? Yeah, there we go. Ah, I've done it! Separated all the loose parts. That was just P. Brian, very, very good thing there. I say, can we now just go? No, let's go and deselect everything. I think I have to, I don't know which is which. Great, this is all that. So let's go and Shift select all of these, then Control select the last thing. Right? Is that how it works? And then I go Control J. And now Businessman should be... No, it isn't. See, it still isn't. It's still not one object. Still the beard is loose. So that just tells me it is one mesh, but there's loose floaty bits in this. Which is not good. How do we combine them? Me too. Oh, wait until you see him with textures. He's just so cool. But good thinking, Brian. Good thinking. Because of P does everything by loose parts, and that's all right, right? That's neat. But if I join everything, it should still be one thing, and it doesn't really do that, which is, you know, bad. So I'm thinking it's got to be merge, maybe by distance, and then just go crank up set distance. Merge distance unselected, merge selected or other unselected vertices. Sharp edges. I think I want sharp edges. Can we do that? Has that significantly changed? No, it hasn't. This maybe. But it's still, it also doesn't really, it should just do it, I think. It's something that's not quite doing it. I wonder if we need to bring him into ZBrush or something and see what ZBrush makes of it. It's just trial and error at this stage, because I wish. Actually, we do have a really weird scale now, so maybe that is why I'm thinking the scale has got to be something different here. But because our scale is so huge, it's so large that I can't even see. Oh, item, there we go. Yes, it's 205 meters tall. That is rather tall. So we'll just go and keep doing this until we have something. We still have the triangles, same thing. 10 meters. Come on. Do something. Merge already. Merge by 100 meters. It's just not doing it. I know, damn loose fluty bits. Absolutely. I mean, 50 meters. That's gotta be. There we go. Okay, great. So usage instructions were kind of wrong here. M merge by distance. So 50 meters is too big. Well, how about 1 meter? 1 meter has done something, because we now have less faces. Because before we had about 1600. Let me change it to 0.1. And there's 1610 back. Okay, good. So 1, watch it, does this. Maybe that. Maybe this is it. Could this be? The Businessman 001. You're going to be our test subject. So did I already have something G3 merged? Businessman merged? Didn't I have something that was Businessman merged? Businessman merged. I thought I had. Maybe I hadn't. Merged. And selection only, OBJ objects, material groups, we don't mind. Vertex orders, it's all not really that big a deal. Didn't I say Businessman merged just now? And export. Oh, this is exciting. Let's see what happens now. So I don't think we need this then here. I don't think we need to do this. We can just go and grab this guy's geometry right here. And just say, this is now Businessman merged, right? Is it? Reload. Come on, buddy. Oh, we have to switch him off. There we go. Okay, so here he is, full glory. This guy, I don't know if we needed to do this, but I've just selected all the outside bits from the Genesis figure. And this guy now says, floating geometry should be manifold. Isn't it? It's not manifold? He comes up with a different error message every time. Brian, I'm doing something that is it's a bit of a long shot, but my idea is, so this is a good example. The Synty guy, I can't run the transfer utility on him because he's in a different position than my Genesis guy. So if I run him now, the skeleton is going to be up here. And because it's not a morph, I can't shift the skeleton to the geometry. So I need to go and take the Synty guy and basically roughly shape him into the position of the Genesis figure so that I can run the transfer utility so that he's then movable. He's gonna look terrible, but it's okay because I can go and import his original shape in as a morph and then bring his original shape back, but he'll be an original rigged figure in DAZ Studio. That is the plan. But of course it doesn't work. So my plan was then to just adjust him, rough him out, that the shoulders are in the same place and the hips are in the same place and the knees. And I thought I could select this in Blender and then just move it around, or I can just have R3D take that and just, you know, let it do the whole thing, because that means it would also then put the hands in the right shape. I mean, I can do it in Blender, but it's going to be troublesome and it's going to be awkward, and I'm not good at it. So I thought, let the computer work it out. But it's of course it's not actually that easy. So so Kenji doesn't like it. What a shame. What a shame. So yes, I don't really know what this means. Floating geometry should be manifold. Why wouldn't it be manifold? Isn't it? I mean, last I checked, it was. Isn't there the make manifold button in Blender somewhere? I don't even know where it would be open. Or not open. I don't even know what this means. I thought manifold is something that's kind of closed. Isn't that what a manifold shape is? I thought it was. I mean, are there any holes in here? If so, can we close it? Is there like a close option? Close area. Boom. Is that? Oh. What did I do there? That wasn't. I didn't mean to do that. Something just got close, and I don't think that's what I meant to do. I think yes. Let's go bring that back. I think that was just a viewport. I just said what in the text field. That was all just. It wasn't me. It was like that when I got here. Okay, so what did it say? Close area. That was not what I wanted to do. Ouch. I don't remember what that was called, but in Blender there's a thing, right, when you have a face here and it's deleted, and we'll just say vertices are Gonski, and then you select something like this, and then you can go and F for fill, like that. You can just fill it out. Oh, it's F then. Goody. Let's try that again. So F, if you filled anything, was that good now? Are you manifold now? I can't tell. This is just it's totally over my head. I'm gonna do this manually. I can see. I'm gonna do this manually, and yes, that's all I can do. And then let the transfer utility deal with it. I think I may have to do that, because this I just can't work out, sadly. Sorry, dude. Bringing in your original body here. Businessman. Goody. And I think I'll still go and attach all the faces. I mean, I don't know, I don't think DAZ Studio cares about it. I think we're okay with it. Let me go and import my other guy into here as well, which was the Genesis 3 T-pose guy. I'm just using him because as a test it's easier than trying to bring my Synty guy into the A pose. I might do that at a later point, but for now I'll just leave these two guys where they are. So I'll go and do some manual work now with the businessman. I think we'll go and we do that. Let's deal with the shoulders first. The shoulders need to match up. I'll go into this mode and then I'll do border select. I think I don't really want the head, do I? Yeah, I don't think I want the head. It's kind of difficult to not use the head. I do really want the shoulders here. And maybe isn't there like a circle select? Can I do that? So I want all of these things. Yeah, I'll do that. And then I'll use the head. I'll just leave in the correct position for now. And these are all the kind of shouldery bits. I think I might try and do proportional editing here. And then just go GZ and move all of that up, right? That's kind of cool. Cursor up a little bit. Ah yes, this is where it gets awkward. But you know, it'll be fine. Let's see if something usable comes out. So this is that. So the hands, I'm not going to worry too much about, but I think the outside of his arms, I think I'll just go and move them inwards just a little bit to help that tool. I think the head we're probably okay with. He's not going to have facial expressions. He's not going to have hand movements, but just the, you know, just the regular thing should work. So let's see if we can grab this then. This part and go, that's G and X. And that's too much here, isn't it? And then we'll do the same thing here. So border select GZ, no, sorry, GX. Kind of do this-ish. And then, yeah, well, rotation is going to be a problem because if I go and rotate it around, I could probably go and say rotate around the 3D cursor. That might be cool. So I'll say R and Z. Will that do? That'll do this, but that's also not what I want. No, maybe I don't want to do this then. RZ. Yes, something like that. Perfect. RZ, like so, just about. Oh, it's repair mesh node. Brian, this is great news. Oh, I can't wait to try that. So the guy's hips. We're going to try all these things. I think that's a really good way to learn these things. So his hips and the legs are not a problem. The knees are also actually okay, aren't they? The feet are okay. It's just the hips. So his ass needs to come up a little bit higher here. Let's go B, do that. And I don't know if we need it. Oh, hang on a minute. There, you were still selected there. So nothing selected. B, kind of this whole area here, isn't it? G, just like this. Yeah, it doesn't have to be super perfect, but I'm thinking that just lifts up where he needs to be. Repair mesh node. I mean, the good thing is yeah, so this was my original plan. I would have him looking like this, then run the transfer utility, therefore the rigging would work, hopefully, and then I would go and bring him originally in, like his original, back into his rigged version as a morph, thereby restoring his original shape. That was the plan. Let's see if it works. So if I go and say file export, and I'm ending up with quite a few businessman versions here. So businessman, I might just call him BM G3 shaped, or G3 shaped, maybe that'll work. And then let's see what happens if we bring him into here. This is my Genesis guy, so we'll go and say import, no sorry, that's export. Import the BMG3 shape. There he is. His surfaces don't look great because he's smoothed. Oh, sorry, that was the wrong guy. There, pixelated, gotcha. And now if I go and say assets, transfer utility, fingers crossed. We'll say Genesis 3 as a source, dude as a target. Bend it like Beckham, exactly. Okay, so this is my man here now. Where's the skeleton? The skeleton is now in a better position than it was before. That is good. That is good news. So if we go to this then here. Oops. What are we looking on the whole arm bending front here? Well, you know, be that as it may that you can do too much, that's totally fine. I'm just thinking, his shoulders are still not in the right position. Yes, that's a problem. I mean, I could go ahead and literally do all these bones manually, but that's what I'd like it if this guy were to have the same shape or approximately the same shape as Genesis, we're going to be laughing. So, you know, not quite what we want here. But certainly, you know, movable. Thank you very much. And just for kind of background poses, I think that's going to be okay. But if we can use Brian's repair node trick, that would be even better. How about the legs? Like sitting down poses are pretty important, and they don't really work either. If I'm thinking of him on a chair, it's just not working well, is it? Dang. Hands are okay-ish. Even feet are okay. That is quite nice. Can we sell this as somebody who sits down? I think it does. It's difficult. I wonder where the Synty guys get their poses from. They're not very forthcoming with that. They make all these things show up as you know, something that's all usable and awesome in the promo renders, and then you think, well, include them, guys. You know, it's fair. It's fine for still bits and pieces. And there must be kind of morphed FBX in some way or form, but sadly they don't do that because you're gonna animate these guys anywhere in your game engine. For those of us who don't, what are we gonna do? So not great. But hey, we've tried. We've tried. He goes back in the bin. Let's try Brian's idea of repairing the mesh in 3DS Wrap. R3DS. Yes, that is true, Rod. You're saying something there. That's very true. And now every Tom, Dick, and Harry like you and me can do it. Perhaps that explains the quality of today's video games as well. No, I like it when people come up with an idea and they do it out of passion, and you know, you can enjoy it, and that's wonderful. That's just great. I love that we all have access to these fantastic tools. But we also need to acknowledge, especially as we get older, that there is this problem that we don't have eternity to figure this out, even though it would be great. By the time we have figured this out, there's a new version that'll work differently. Brian, is it under geometry? Repair geometry. What do you do? Geometry in, geometry out. Let's try that. Geometry in, geometry out. Floating geometry contains 6 disconnected polygon components. Should be 1. What, again? Didn't we just fix that? That's blasphemy. Didn't we just merge this guy? I'm perplexed why this doesn't work. I don't even know what this thing wants from me. I don't even know what manifold means. Or, I mean, I thought I know what it meant. But I guess my definition of manifold is different than this. Oh, what a shame, Brian. Well, then I really don't know. In all honesty, ask the Synty guys for some random FBX poses for their characters. That could work. That would have the added benefit of being able to apply them to all the characters. This method, while awesome and working in DAZ Studio, would mean I'd have to do this for every single character that I'd like to use, and that could be next 5 years worth of 8-hour work mapped out for me there. Down the hall and to the left. I love it. So let's just retrace our steps here. So I thought I had a guy that's merged, and no matter if the repair node is in here or not, whoops, sorry. No matter if the repair node is in here or not. Oh, I see. Oh, that's interesting. So the repair node actually brings us back to splitting these things out. Oh, that's interesting. So we do have the correct geometry. I have made it all, you know, into one guy in Blender, and it says geometry should be manifold. And the moment I add this geometry repair node in here, it goes and splits things back out, which is, you know, totally not on, because now the error message is different. Floating geometry contains 6 disconnected components. Should be 1. Well, don't split them out, dude. I don't get it. Young Frankenstein and Scheisen. Right. Geometry unrepair. That's what it does, yes. Well, why don't we try the opposite? And I don't think I've tried this yet. I'd love to see what comes out. Let's go and start afresh. Let's go and say, hey, great, we're gonna go and do this thing the other way around by trying to follow the example that didn't work all that well for me last time I tried it, which is when I used the Genesis figure as a floating geometry and then wrap it around the Synty guy, and this is what came out. So this is ever so slightly crazy, but I'm thinking that maybe if I can make this work well, there is a way that what happens if we make that blocky. So if we deliberately try and reimagine this blocky effect on the blocky geometry. This could look interesting if we just match it properly. So I didn't really put any points in because I thought, hey, this is going to look terrible. But if we do it properly, maybe with the blocky shading, with the unsmooth shading, maybe we can figure something out that looks also kind of cool for the Synty character. Let's try it, shall we? Let's go delete this abomination from my screen. So, and load my Genesis character into here. And I'll still use Genesis 3 just because, you know, it kind of works. And then I'm going to use my non-manifold whatever guy in here, because I think for the fixed geometry, I don't think this program cares all that much. And we're going to go and put those things into a wrapping node. Oh, also, I think we also then need the select polygons in here. And then we're going to need the geometry, what's it called, the putting things together again, the geometry polygon selection, what's it called, replace dyno, what's it, no, I think it was under geometry, subset, that's the one, subset. Damn, Damn, brother. And then this goes into here. And then this goes into here. And this will put that here. And then here, we'll go and put that into here, hopefully. So this is going to be our Synty guy. Let's go and load him. And I will just try the regular guy as he comes out. I don't know if Wrap cares about manifoldness or split objects in the fixed geometry. Here, let's go and put our Genesis 3 male T-pose guy in, like so. And I didn't set any points up last time, so I'm thinking that if I go and select my polygons here now, by materials, we'll add certainly the fingernails and the toenails, and maybe the face, and maybe the lips, and maybe then... I like that these things look different in every generation of Genesis figure. So important. And the ears, check it out. Maybe also the legs, and then of course also the arms. And I think that should be enough. I think the eyelashes we don't even want. And the eyes, I don't even know what surface that is, so I'm just gonna go leave it like it is. And that maybe that's, you know, that might make Wrap happy. I think so, yes. I think in Wrap it doesn't matter all that much, but it looks like he's still 100 meters tall, judging by the grid. Yes, I totally agree. So this guy now says, floating geometry contains 21 disconnected polygon bits and pieces. Should be one. Didn't I just fix that though? Dude, I've just fixed it, didn't I? There's nothing that's floating anymore. What's he talking about? No, he's still not happy. I tell you, man, Genesis 3 is just the figure that makes people not happy. Maybe we should just go and grab myself a Genesis 8 and then let Wrap figure out the A pose as well. That's a possibility. And that's super disappointing. I don't know why this is happening. Because in here, this is correct, isn't polygon selection, and this is this geometry. And in here, I made sure I'm selecting something that isn't floating around, so what are you complaining about? Yeah, okay, fine, I'll do it with the Genesis 8 figure then. It's just, if it's too much hassle. No worries, buddy. Notice also I'm not using 8.1. Retro all the way, man. Retro all the way. Cutting edge. Here he is. Perfect. And this, of course, whoops. This, of course, needs to also be the low-res version. So that's a bit of a problem too. So I need to have this as the base resolution and see what I can do with him. G8M base, non-manifold, what's it, what not. Oh, that wasn't right, was it? It had to be here. G8M base. Where'd he go? Here he is, perfect. So still we need to go and do the selection here. Oh, he didn't have materials. Hey, that's awkward, isn't it? That's awkward, so can't use a dev load. Gotcha. Gotcha, buddy. It's a Genesis 8 basic male instead of the dev load, which is weird. That is all just weird. Okay, you have materials. You need to also be base res. And then we need to go and do, I'll just go call him G8M base again. Yes, let's override the other guy. Right surfaces, yes. In fact, just to be on the absolute safe side there, but maps, we don't really need to use maps. Okay. Reload should work. Here he is, visual editor in select polygons. Is still material-less. Why though? That's interesting. Polygon selection does not match current geometry. Would you? Yes, reset. Oh, that's what it was. Gotcha, gotcha. Oh, he was confused. Gotcha. Rod, when this works, it is beautiful, man. Tell you what, if this doesn't work, and how come there's eyelashes here? You see, this is why I used it. Okay, maybe it was actually me. Let's try it. 79th time lucky. Hey, that's what they say. Let's do it with this guy, because I thought this guy worked. No eyelashes, no nothing. BS Res export out as Genesis 8 male base. That's good. We go yes. And in here, we say on this node, we say reload. He goes and does this. And on the selection node, he'll say, oh, there we go. Perfect. No more eyelashes. Goody. So material, face, yes. Lips, yes. Teeth, torso, that's a good idea. Legs, probably. Eye socket, mouth, arms, yes. And then we have fingernails and we have toenails. Oh, and then also ears, maybe. Come on, ears. Ears, right. Everything selected. So this is now our floating geometry. Fix it all in the post. I like it. So that's this guy. This guy is that. Okay, fixed geometry. This is our subset geometry. And that's not gonna, I don't think Wrap's gonna be able to figure this out, but we can give it this help with some points. So that's also alignment, maybe? Is it geometry? Is it selection? Something about point pairs, isn't it? Select points. I think that's it. Select points. Is it? That's not it. It's something different. It's remove spikes, subdivide, subset. What was that called again? Is it selection? Select point pairs, that's the one. That's the one. It wants to use this, I think, and that. And then help this node make decisions. What's this? Free polygons floating. The very thing he just kept complaining about. So, okay, this is slightly difficult now, because we now need to tell this program what point on which geometry is what. So let's go sync view, so that when we move one, we move the other. This is nice. And this is this magic node here. And after that, the wrapping can probably happen. So it's now not complaining anymore. It's saying basically just, just press compute and I'll go do my thing. But I don't think it's going to work out, because the two meshes are in a different position. So I'll go and tell it with a bit of symmetry here as well. So I think that's X symmetry. Is that it? Yes, X symmetry on the left and the right. And since we don't really have eyes, we don't really need to worry about those types of things. I think we just need to be really rough and say, hey, this is like the top of the ear, and this is the bottom of the earlobe. And then likewise in this guy, this is that. And then let's say kind of this is that. And because it's done with symmetry, we have these points on either side, so that's neat. I think the mouth, we do have, I'll have one on the nose. I'll do the ones with no symmetry last. I think maybe just to see the sides of the mouth. And maybe the top and the bottom, just to mark the mouth. I don't, he doesn't really have a mouth here. But if anything, it would be kind of here. I'll say something like that. Let's do shoulders maybe. Top of the shoulders. Like here is the equivalent to here, I'd say. Then elbows as well. I think that's kind of important. This is probably the elbow point. And then your elbow point is kind of, well, I'd say here. Righty, and then thanks to geometry, to symmetry, we have this on both sides. Oh my god, this is exciting. And now fingers. The good thing is we don't have to be all that super accurate with this guy. So I'll just mark the outside bits here. Done on both hands. And then here, I suppose we'll just go and do the same thing here. So, and including his thumb. That's kind of neat, isn't it? This is kind of his thumb here, isn't it? Okay. Then hips, I think that's important because that we didn't quite get that right. Maybe just to mark, because he has low hips here. Let's say, it's difficult to say. It's maybe here. Is that the same as maybe this? I wonder. And then like his basically where his arse begins, that's kind of here, isn't it? So the polygon guy doesn't really have an arse as such. Let's go and put that here. Okay, I'm thinking. And then knees as well. They're important. So middle of the knee is here as well as there. And then feet. Okay, those are the toes. Kind of. Let's just say that's that. And do we have a heel? We kind of have a heel. Like this is that. Ankle could be, yes, could do ankle. Let's do ankle is here. And then his ankle is kind of here. Inner ankle too, shall we do that? Don't want to confuse the program too much, but you know, just because we can. Ankles. Outer hips might be an idea as well. Could do, like this is the equivalent to kind of that, maybe. Anything on the body? Yeah, we could mention the chin. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go switch off the symmetry now, and then go and say, see, there were points that didn't need symmetry, or that, you know, would be bad with symmetry, like, you know, bottom of the chin. And this place here, which is kind of this, I'd say. What do you think? Top of the head, yes, could do. this and that. It's often good with figuring these things out by itself. Oh, there's also nose. Nose I've been meaning to do. Eyes are difficult because we don't really have eyes. So one dot at the nose, and then his nose is kind of, where is his nose? Kind of here, I think. Okay, let it rip, baby. See what happens here. Underarm might be another consideration. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Sometimes it's good to give it less points than more points. Compute. This is exciting. Come on. Can he work this out? A pose, T pose was not actually that big an issue. Ooh. So if this works in principle, my other idea then to retain all the low poly intersections from the original polygon guy was, check it out, to use the HD Morph Loader Pro and literally use like a 5x subdivided Genesis figure and essentially recreate the low poly detail in a really high res version of the figure. That's crazy, but I thought, you know, dude, that's not what the other guy looked like. That's terrible. That's super terrible. How are you the A pose again, dude? That's completely uncool, man. Why are you the A pose again? We made you into... Well, I suppose in his defense he turned the Genesis A pose into a T pose, didn't he? So he kind of did the correct thing. Let's see if we can import it into Genesis here. First with the lattice node. These are all tips from Brian, by the way. I didn't come up with any of this. This is all Brian's doing. So lattice node, I think that's important. Is that under here, lattice node? That'll restore the things that we took away from him. So geometry to deform, source deformation, and then the target deformation. So how did this work again? I think I made a note. Geometry to deform, clearly this one here, the original one. Then the target, the source deformation is, I think, and then the target one is source deformation is this, isn't it? And then the target is that? No. How did this work again? It's all you're doing. So source, so lattice does essentially look at a source, like this one, the geometry to deform. Then it looks at the source deformation, and it looks at the target deformation. So I think that's this, isn't it? So this and then target is that, I think. And then out comes that, I think. So yes, there we go, perfect. This guy now has eyeballs again. To a certain extent. And nasal holes and stuff. Is that right? This guy didn't have that? Right, that's correct. And then this guy has all that. Okay, good. So then we apply a bit of smoothing here. Getting rid of holes in the ears. Maybe accuracy is really not that big a concern at this point. Synty guy, you look terrible, man. And now we save him out. Don't blame this on me. No, I totally hear you, buddy. So there, that object, this and the other. And we'll call him S. I might just make a new output so that I remember what that is. Wrap morphs, perhaps. Morphs. Brian, tell me, you are now officially on vacation, right? Is that correct? BNG8, I'll just call that. just so that tomorrow I won't be able to remember. This guy now, let's see if we can go and say edit object, Morph Loader Pro. This is exciting, isn't it? See if we can make this work. As what, there's no OBJ that's in here? Did I specify the wrong thing? Did I not compute the thing? Compute current frame, there we go. There we go, perfect. And morph created successfully. Oh my god, that's crazy. Mr. Steve, how you doing? You've come at just the right time, because I want to show you my new masterpiece that's certainly gonna, you know, rock the 3D world. I'm gonna tell you, this is just bigger than you and I, Steve. It's bigger than you know, things and stuff. It's, watch this. This is the magic slider. It's you hear for the first time. Nice. Look at that. Normal person. Monster. But what happens to the rigging? Is that still? It's kind of still working, isn't it? Yes. He doesn't seem to be too upset about him looking a little bit bulgy and stuff. He's all good about that. Yeah, aside from a little bit of distortion here, that's kind of fixable with a bit of weight map jiggery pokery. I mean, if the Synty guys would behave like this, that would be neat. And then, of course, the good thing is you can also go and apply poses now on this guy. Whoops. I meant to do redo. There we go. Time for a commercial. Dang. The commercials they play at different times for everyone, and they are also, shame you won't be able to hear this now, but they're also, you can also, if you subscribe to the channel, then there's no adverts, which is kind of nice. There were some improvements on the adverts that they said you could, there are some audio adverts that they say, hey, the visual of the ad is still playing, but my audio is still available. That's also possible. It depends on what advert that is. Yeah, subscribing, or that's Twitch Turbo. That's what I did, because, man, I don't like adverts. Yes, that might not be what we want. So there may have to be ever so slightly small adjustment might be necessary. Yeah, okay, so it hasn't done that. That's kind of interesting, isn't it? Just rigging to shape. Will you really do that? Will you recognize a T-pose? No. It's clearly not. Will you? Kind of. Ooh. That is just awkward. Actually, edit mode, and then we do ERC freeze, and we'll see what that does. I'm sure it's all going to go swimmingly well here. This is sadly not what I had expected, but hey, not all that bad. I mean, you know, super annoying, absolutely. Well, even if I were, oh yeah, that's the other thing I was going to try out on him here, on all his materials. I'd like for all of it to look not smooth. Oh, there's skin here, that's what I mean. Skin. Yeah, smoothness is on everywhere, which is a shame. But hey, I think we can safely say that that didn't work well. Did it? What does it look like with skin? Yeah, that's a product for the shop, isn't it? Especially if you put some kind of creepy shader on it, and then you've got yourself a creepy guy. Oh. That's what you look like. Oh my goodness! I've recreated you in 3D. Look at that. Did you see the ground meat shader in the store? I didn't buy it, but that applied to him. That would be kind of cool. Ground meat shader. I mean, we could make that in Substance Painter, I suppose. So okay, this was not successful. It's a shame. Look at that. You've got his tie on here. That's neat. So yes, that is a shame. So what are my other options then? If I wanted to rig the Synty characters, I could do it from scratch without the aid of a computer. We could try and fix this whole issue that Wrap had with the non-manifold thing. I really don't understand what went wrong there. This is, whoops. I didn't know you could do that with the keyboard shortcut. Now we do. That's interesting. Let me go and save this project, because that's just... Maybe I'll need it later, you know? Maybe I'll need it later. Wrap scene. So this is now here Terror version 1. And let's go and say file new project maybe. Let's see if we can do this one more time, because there's this thing I really didn't understand. I liked it. I liked the idea of not floating the Genesis geometry at all. I like the idea of making the Synty geometry float and just adjust itself into the Genesis shape just roughly. That I could then use, import it into Genesis, rig it. Even though the shape doesn't look great, I can then go and import the morph of the original Synty guy with his proportions literally as a morph, adjust the skeleton, and then have kind of rigging in place that kind of works. So that's my plan. If that doesn't work, I could rig the Synty guy from scratch, but that's just overkill, specifically because we have a rigged version of the Synty guy in here. Righty, so this is the Synty guy adjusted to this. If I go and just ignore all this and say new project, ignore him, and just import. So this is another option that I have. I can import the FBX of the Synty guys. I don't remember where they are. Are they here? Yes, there we go. Synty source files, characters, because they're FBXs. So if I get this guy in FBX, and we don't need the animation, but we do need the armature is fine, I think. You just import this and you think, hey, that doesn't look so healthy, but really it is the Synty guy in there, buried in there. And that's just, it is possible to use them if you click off that and on it again. And then you head over to, see, no, you don't do that. You go into here and I think you select the actual character in there. And then you go to something called pose mode. But you have to select the armature for that. Pose mode, there we go. And then you go to pose. Clear transform maybe? Is that what it was? Clear transform all? Yes, there we go. Synty guy's back. So that's neat. And not only that, but also, seriously. But also now that we are in pose mode, you can actually use these bones to pose them. So RY will move his arms, you know, so that is also possible. Into, well, this is not how arms usually move, but hey, you can go and rotate this into any which way. So you can't go and pose him like this, and maybe that'll allow me to set up some poses, just low model, low poly poses. I mean, the bones are not in the right shapes, but certainly I can probably build a sitting pose much better than what I could do before. Sometimes it's difficult to find the bones because they're just, I don't know why they're so messed up. It's just, FBX is the world's most awful 3D format. I think that's probably why. So this is the bone in here. I think if I go and rotate that, yeah, there we go. So I can put a sitting pose on him somehow. Oops. Kind of like this, and then this bone's better. It's just the amount of effort you have to go through to just make something relatively simple. It's a little bit overkill. So I'd love it if that's just an easier way to make this happen. You get the picture. So he can sit this way. And it's all there, it's just not accessible in, you know, in DAZ Studio, which is a shame. Realign all bones. You know more about rigging in Blender than I do, Steve, because I don't know. I know nothing. Where would I do that, Steve? Is that here in pose mode or? See if I can find it somewhere. Realign. Push pose from breakdown. That sounds exciting. Yeah, so this is completely alien to me. I have no idea how armatures or rigging works in Blender or how it's applied to figures. It's all just too complicated really for me. It's not something that's intuitive. Which is why I like the DAZ Studio thing. Power pose, boom, you know, go, that kind of thing. Oh, that's an edit mode. Okay, let's go there. Edit mode. Select all that. Maybe we have snap mirror symmetrize. This split switch name parent extrude. Yes. Or F3 is your friend. Realign bones. There we go. Align bones. Armature transform align bones. Control Alt A and okay, better. Still incorrect, but better incorrect. I like it. Ish. Realign again. Make correct. That's the make it work button. Is there an option like that? Thank you, Steve. That's neat. Under armature. Change bone layers, bone settings. My goodness. Recalculate roll. Oh, that's a good idea. Let's do that. Oh, there's only 55 options here. Maybe I won't do that. Because, you know, which one's the right one? Bone roll. That's a good idea. That's probably bone rotation, maybe? And that can't be selected. Local plus X tangent. Jesus Christ. Bizarre, isn't it? Yay. Wow. Fix, the fix button. Yes, I'd like to see that as well, Rod. Is Chris streaming today? Does anyone know? I don't think he streams Tuesdays. I don't know if maybe today might be kind of a special occasion or something. Because yeah, I think I'm done for today. I think this isn't working, and it's a shame. That means I'm gonna have to make other artistic decisions. I think. Individual bones. Okay. I'll give that a miss then. I'll give that a miss. Yeah, it's a shame it just doesn't work, because I know that these FBXs work in Unity and in Unreal. So, but they don't have things like an easy, you know, what's it called? Yeah, like a rig. I mean, there's all right rig, I suppose, for Unreal Engine that would work, but it also means setting up your own rig. And I think what I would just like, and I think this is really all I need. I don't really need a posable figure. I mean, that'd be nice, but ideally all I need is something that when they have things like this, you know, in their promo images, just poses for their figures. That is really all I want, because they don't come with their bits and pieces. That's really all I need. Some people walking, some people sitting, just poses for that work for all characters, because I'll use them as static background characters. But you know, things like this, that's all we're asking for. I don't know why they can't provide that. Don't want to provide that. But you know, it must be clearly possible for them to do this. I might ask on their Synty server, but it's one of those things that, you know, people sitting. I mean, this does exist. Just give it to us already, you know. Oh, he's streaming at 7 p.m. Oh, that's good to know. That's good to know. Hey, maybe I'll hang on for another hour then, and then we'll do other things. There's always stuff to do. Because, you know, all these types of things, there's all these post sets. This is what I want to know. This is what I want. People shopping and stuff. This is what we want, because the people are just beautiful. I love that kind of style of their characters. That's just so cool. Well, maybe if you guys are up for it, this is beautiful. This is just so beautiful. I love it. I love it. Absolutely love it. Pacific Palm Food Court. Yeah, so these are, I find this is what I'd like my environments to look like. And then in it I'll have, so these guys are workers and background guys and stuff, but then in it I'll have the high-res DAZ characters who are then the actual main characters, and they then speak and have expressions and whatnot. But this would be the awesome ideal background. And yeah, this is what I like to build. This is what I like to not build, but just make with DAZ Studio. I can import the sets, I can import the characters. Really, all I need is a way to pose them. So that's my search continues. My search continues. So nice. Do you know, Veteran, this is true. I like that as well. When I was invited 4 weeks ago or so, it was really nice and chill, and there were about just under 1,000 people in there, and it was fantastic. You had conversations with people, and it was a really nice place to hang out for about a week. And then now there's like 30,000 people, and you think that's just that's too much for me. That's too much for me. So I feel like you. This is not the exact Discord atmosphere that I would enjoy. So righty then, what should we do now? I mean, there is one thing I was gonna have a look into, and that is to create my own stitch brush in Clip Studio Paint, but I don't know anything about it. Same here, recluse is probably a good word. You probably enjoy my Discord server, or Chris's Discord server. About 100 people tops, and most of them are not there at the same time, so it's just, you have casual one-on-one, one-on-two, one-on-three conversations, so that's nice. I like that. Rod, that is so cool. No worries, man. Thank you for being here. I appreciate that. So there's also what's the latest game on Epic? That's another thing that, oh my god. Quit, close, no, don't keep him. What's the latest game on the Epic Store today? Let's have a look at that, just so that we, you know, that we don't miss the deals. How long have you been into 3D then, Veteran? Come on. Sometimes loading times are just too much. Loading times and updates. If we could fix that. What's that? Second Extinction Early Access. Oh, it's free, is it? It kind of depends. Is it good? Is it bad? $24.99 value for free. Jürgen is the trooper. Let the hunt begin. Rosie's the enforcer. Okay. I have a feeling it's a shooter game. Which isn't bad at times, but also I'm more into, like, you know, mind puzzle games and stuff. Oh, okay, so you are indeed a 3D veteran as well. All right, well, welcome back. And we have to fight alien scum. That's a novel concept. Let's go. Let's get it. It's free. It's fine. Let's get it. Place order. Okay. I missed the first one, Shenmue. That was available for free, but I missed it. So yeah, that's sad. All I have installed currently is While True Learn. That's another thing that we can try out. That's something that I have installed. That would be available. Oh no, I didn't want to start it. I need to go and close other things down. No, hang on. Before we can do that. Okay, let's go and do this. Close this. I need to install that license there. So this is more about coding, which is neat and interesting. I don't know if I'm in the mood for this though. There we go. So last time we were battling against some puzzle game. Maybe you can help me figure this out. Anyone who's into computer coding, we're building the cat speech recognition system. This could be good. Coffee machines. Hey, we were just talking about it. This might be nice. Predictions of winners. Did we win this? I don't remember. Goodbye, Rod. Thank you so much for being here. Say hello to Joe. And if I don't see you again, have a wonderful Christmas. Oh yes, Christmas freebies on Renderosity. Yes, absolutely. You know, I'm a big gambler. I'm going to Vegas next week and hopefully I'll make some money. Did I say some? I meant to say huge money. I need you to write some code or whatever you do there and predict all the ways to win in roulette. If you do everything right, 5% of my score is yours. Please find some related data enclosed. Cool. We can do that. Oh, really? Yes, Chameleon and Cyber Tinkle stuff. Oh, okay. Nice. Output stream 1, 90% accuracy, red squares. Output stream 2, we need 16 and it needs to be 60% accurate. We can have 4 nodes, but we need to do it in 12 seconds. That looks complicated. There's a genetic solver, of course, but it's probably too slow to do this. I have a feeling we probably need 2 of those and a balancer so that we can do this in parallel on both of these nodes. And then we probably need a trash can because lots of these things we don't need, like the green ones and the blue ones here. That is not necessary. And maybe this goes into here and this goes into here, right? I'm thinking. Let's train these guys. They're evolvable already, I think. Oh, and Fantasy Attic, right. I haven't actually looked into Fantasy Attic. I don't think that's my crowd over there. This is already terrible. We're doing really badly here. That's not what we're supposed to do, I don't think. And also, I don't quite remember how to evolve these guys. I gotta be brutally honest. Is this better? Even though they do evolve, I don't think we're necessarily getting any faster. Oops. This guy can go, and these guys are now the evolved people. So still chucking out red ones into the trash can here. That's not good either. That's not good. See if we can evolve these guys 2 more times. Delete and delete. Do you know what? I can't believe it's almost Christmas, you know? I can't believe that it's the 21st already. That's just crazy. I think I can also pick evolved things directly, maybe. But I mean, you know, if the game's more difficult than reality, terrain. Okay, good. Let's do a test run. All the evolvement that we can possibly get has happened. Can we do it? Can we do it? Can we do it? Launch complete. Perfect. Silver. Not bad, but I'm okay with it. There we go. Project released. Now, was there somebody who said something about coffee machines? I think we should try that. Trajectory thirst. Let's try that. And then work our way up to the coffee machine. Good day. I'm a representative of McRallen Racing Team. Oh, that's good. Our pilots are participating in all kinds of races from rallies to Formula 1. They are doing their best to keep improving their results, and we're there for them too. We want to make a system that will be calculating ideal passage trajectory using machine learning. We were told that you are the specialist capable of carrying... No, you were told wrong. Sorry, man. Not a specialist in literally anything. Sorry. Don't we have this thing that we've just made here? Genetic divide. Oh, but we can't use it because we need other things here. What a shame. Oh no, actually we can, can't we? Genetic divide, I think. And we can do a genetic divide too, I think. No, that's not it. Pragmatic, dang. Pre-trained genetic, that's the one. Pre-trained genetic. We can use that, and then, so this is red, green, and blue that comes out. I have a feeling this is probably going to be too slow, but we have multiple nodes, so we can go and grab this, and then get another one of those. Pre-trained genetic. 2. And then we'll just put all of these into here and into there. And I suppose then we just go and if we can have 2 more, we could have more if we wanted. But let's try this then. So green and blue. So this is green and blue. Oh, I see. I get you, buddy. I get you, buddy. This is difficult. We then need more balancers on the output. So we have green twice. So this green could go here. This green could go into here. With blue twice. So this could go in here. This could go in here. And then we have red twice. Actually, we can maybe just get away with this. Could it be? Could that be? Technically accurate. But quantities not reached. So if we halve this guy here, whatever he gets on the bottom, like anything that's green from here, we can just siphon off and put that into the top one. I'm thinking. It looked great, didn't it? It looked great. I'm thinking if we go... Maybe this is why we have 2 more nodes here. If I'm thinking, I'll take a balancer for the green here. And I'll put half of his output into here and half of his output into here. Then I'm thinking this, I'll employ that here as well. Green goes down here, then half of his green nodes go into here and then into there. Is that a good idea? Was that what we're actually supposed to do? Am I making some mistake here? I'm just thinking that would divert, basically mix the top and the bottom, give half to the other thing each. And now that I think about it, it's not actually the thing we needed to fix, right? We needed to fix the middle one. This hasn't done anything. We need to fix the middle one. Duh! Let's bring this back to green into here, green into there. We needed to fix the middle one. So everything red from here could just go into here. Is that the solution? Possibly. Do you know, yes, Brian, this is a new set of nodes I've just discovered. It's the animation nodes. I fancied a break from this because sometimes you just can't think anymore. Haha! Gold medal! Look at that, we did it. you've guessed right. This is no longer 3DS Wrap. I mean, there's so much stuff that we can do with it. We were looking at materials as well, weren't we? That is another thing we could take a look at. Let me go do coffee machines, and then we'll look into the materials, because I think both your and my approach was really good that we had there. Greetings! Our company Robo Coffee is famous for its automated coffee machines. We want our coffee to be exquisite as famous Italian brews, but we're not quite there yet. Maybe a computer algorithm could help us master our recipes. Doubt it, mate, doubt it. Of course, mistakes will be made, so we're sure that something good will come out of it in the end. Let's see how we can help you. You've got bad coffee and good coffee. You want to have good coffee, great coffee, and really good coffee. In 6 nodes and 18 seconds. Well, maybe then we have 2 pre-trained genetic solvers here. That's exactly right. One thing that bots cannot make better is coffee. Which does remind me, we need to go out perhaps tomorrow morning and get me some caffeinated coffee again. I like the decaf, but completely without caffeine, I don't know. So, red goes into here. Oh no, hang on, this is the wrong one. We need to have a second pre-trained genetic, that's the one. And then red goes into here. Then we have green. Oh, green goes into all 3. Yes, interesting. We have more green down here than up there. So I'm thinking this green can go into here. And then we could grab ourselves a balancer and take the green and put it into both of these green guys here, I'm thinking. And then blue we have in all 3, so that's difficult. Maybe if we do the same with blue. We can still use 3 nodes, so most of them need to end up in here, and blue is not really... So this green... Well, let's just see what happens if I put blue in here and then blue in here. And if that doesn't work, we can, we can always... Well, we'll see what happens then. Another balancer, right? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm not sure where exactly to put it, so... Possibly in here. Or not. Oh my god, we're good. We're good. We could probably increase this. So this was hitting the margins. These 2 were too much, so I wonder if we can go and siphon off. So we have 24 more here. We have 17 more. So if we do take the bottom one, not a bad call. Balancer into here. Blue one goes into this balancer, and then half of the blue ones go in here. The other half go in here to fill that up more and faster. See what happens when we go do a little test run. Maybe we'll do it faster this time, because we are allowed 2 more nodes. So I wonder if at least 1 more balancer is going to help us do this. Come on, can we improve this? Still bronze. Occupancy 50, we're good here. We're good here. We just didn't reach the time, so maybe we'll try the other balancer up here. Let's try it. I mean, while we're here, blue goes into this, and then 1 blue goes into here, and the other one that needed to be filled up, maybe it's this one here, because it just needs more dip-dops. How about that? Let's try it. This is exciting. And it looks like we're bronze again. But hey, It's something. It's something. At least we passed. I like that. Oh, Tatari gave us a bit of cash. That's nice. UFO recognition. Maybe we'll do that next time. Hey, this was a nice excursion. Let's talk about materials in Wrap. That's actually quite good. That is actually really good. So Brian and I have come up with very interesting systems that may make this work. Oh, top balance into the trash. Let's try that tomorrow. Let's go back to materials in 3DS Wrap. And also close the Epic launcher thing. Put our music back on. And a little more quieter. There we go. Ah, perfect. So our task, should we choose to accept it for the last half hour, is we go and pick up the wrap and see if I can figure out materials. Oh, Final Fantasy VIIMXLLL-2.3 Remaster HD whatever is out. That's good. Or is it? I don't know. I'm not a Final Fantasy fan because I just don't understand the titles, in all honesty. Okay, Brian, come on, let's do materials. Why don't I try something with Genesis 3 characters? It depends. I think I might, if I use female characters, I might get into trouble. If I use male characters, I think I'm all right. Let's see. Do I have male 3D characters in here? I could just try the base character as a template because he has materials, and that'll be good. And I will try and actually 2. Let me try Genesis 2 male guys character templates and put them onto Genesis 8. I think that's a cool idea. Let's see if we can do it. So Genesis 2 base male. So our issue is that this guy, he has UVs that are all over different islands, separated. So on here, I think if I go and select his surfaces, I can see them all. But, arms are on a different UV tile, face is on a different UV tile, teeth is on a different UV tile, and in Wrap, we can't use that to transfer textures. We have to have a different UV set for both the at least for the source figure. So we need to somehow put all these things onto one UV space, and then we can export it and give that to Wrap, and Wrap can then go and give us the converted versions for our new character. So that's difficult. But DAZ Studio has a thing internally in there that will make this conversion fairly simple, and I think that's called Texture Atlas. And if we do that, it will go and let us put all of these things onto one UV tile, and this is what we need. I think I might just leave the defaults as they are, because it does two things actually. If I go and hit accept, also my nightlight has come on, hasn't it? I can switch that off. It's nice to have this brownish tone, but it's also very sleepifying. Let me just go and turn that off. Was it under display settings? Color nightlight there. Ding! There we go. We're back. Ha! We're back. So if I go and hit accept, and I don't really need all these maps. I need diffuse. I don't think I need opacity. Maybe I do need opacity actually. Bump, specular, ambient, I don't need. Displace and normal, I think I need those. And if I go and make this 8K maps, so 8192 by 8192 as PNG files. I can call this Atlas UVs. This is for the second UV set, so I'll call this combined UVs. And I'll browse to a new section on my desktop. I'll call it texture comp maybe. And in here is where I'm going to save all my converted maps. Let's go do this thing. That should now give me 8K maps of my Genesis 8 base character, together with a Genesis 8 base character with a new UV set. And it's already pre-selected the maps. Hopefully that's something that Wrap can deal with. We'll find out soon. And I'm only going to convert the outside texture, so I'm not concerned about eyeballs and stuff. I think I might just go and use the eyes that are available in the target character already. I'm not going to worry about the source character there. But for now, we're converting everything. Okay, there we go. That's done that. In here, this guy is now going to load in the textures we've converted, I think. And also, if we go and have a look at, like in any of these material setups, if I go and look for UVs, I can say base male, micro 5, or combined UV. So he's now using the combined UVs on all these surfaces, which is really cool. Hey, Miss Julia! Good to see you back. Let's see then. So this is something maybe that can be shown in Wrap. So we go and load our geometry in. Oh, we also need to export him, of course. Totally forgot about that. We go and export this guy. G2M, I'll call him. I'll use the current resolution, so the high resolution. And I think we don't need maps because they're being provided from somewhere else, I think. Let's see. Oh, there is one other thing. I may have to do that. I forgot if I've enabled that or not. I don't know if Genesis 2 has multiple, if it uses UDIMs or if everything's on one space. If it does, we need to just say collapse UV tiles. So that's the only thing I remember that we need to do, because otherwise Wrap isn't gonna be happy. But I don't know if that's already the case on Genesis 2. It's been a while since I've worked with him. So load geometry and go pick our guy here. Texture comp, Genesis 2 male. Yes, he's still large. That's okay, he works though, that's neat. We can switch off the wireframe, then he's just flat and blue. And now if I go and load in, let's see if this works. This is exciting actually. Load in an image. I think that's how it works. And we connect these two. And this freaks out, that's also okay. Let's go and load the diffuse map now from texture comp. There he is! My guy's got skin! So that is neat. That is very neat. That is really cool. So then if we were to try and make the impossible possible, like, you know, because this is what we like to do. We'd like to try and have a go at the super difficult things and see if it works. Let's go and maybe... I'll leave this guy in here. I'll just make him invisible. And I'll go and load in my Genesis 8 dev load character now. Oh, that's lights, isn't it? I shouldn't have done that. It was probably under figures. Somewhere. There we go. Genesis 8 male dev load. And because it's just about textures, I don't think I need to fix his UV islands, because there's a trick that that we can use, I think, in Wrap. Brian showed me this. This is the perfect time to test it. So I'll go and say G8M in his full glory here. And do we need to collapse his UV tiles? No, we don't want to do that. I think let's not do that. We don't want to collapse it because we're going to grab them out in a converted way from wrap. Okay, here we go. Load geometry. He doesn't have a texture yet, but we go load him in. Am I doing it the correct way around? No, I'm not. I need to have these guys over on this side. Righty, and then this is my floating geometry. I just like to get organized this way. So this guy's going to be I just had a thought about Genesis 2 guy here. Let me just go and help wrap out as much as possible and just go and bend this guy as closely as possible to the A pole, so we don't have to set the points there. So let's call this minus 38, and then on the other side we're going to call this here 38. Or are we calling it perhaps 40 on this side? Yeah, well, maybe 40 is probably the flip. Are we calling it something else? We're calling it something else. We're going to call it 43, actually, on both sides. There, minus 43 on this side, there. And then I think the arms could also twist a little, so that's these guys here. And that's bend, I'm thinking. Yes. We'll call it minus 14, I'm thinking. All these little bits and pieces that you gotta just try out. We'll call this 14 here. And then we'll do something with your legs, buddy. Perhaps, would it be side side? Yes, side side. And let's say 7, or minus 7 here. Or are we saying 6? Minus 6? Minus 6 is what we're saying. And here we say 6. Yes, okay, perfect. So if we export Genesis 2 guy in this pose, then wrap doesn't have to work that hard. It doesn't have to go and figure out where the elbows are, where the fingers are. This is just going to be much, much easier. The head is almost there, so I think we're good there. Let's go do this. The material's already fixed. Export G2M. It already exists. That's okay. I think it's all on one UDIM, so I'm going to just leave that on here. If that doesn't work, I just need to go and collapse the tiles. And in an ideal world, all I need to do here is just reload the geometry, and then it'll do this. Perfect. And then now he's got this A pose, and then this is this guy. Okay, good. I don't know if it made a massive difference, if it actually did make a difference. Probably didn't. It's just, you know, we want to make sure we help the program as much as we can. So, but now, oh, Brian, I think I need your help now because I don't remember what to do with textures. I think, I don't know if we need the lattice node. I think we do. You did it in the video in which you did the morph and the textures together. So I don't know if I need to do this here. Because technically I'm not doing wrapping nodes. Image, transfer texture. This is a good start. What does that want? It wants a source geometry, which could well be this guy. You have to wrap it first? Okay. Source geometry, target geometry, and excluded target polygons. Okay, yeah, okay, let's treat it as if we're doing a wrap then. Let's do that. So then that means I need to fix my Genesis 8 floating geometry first with select polygons and a subset. And I think that was this and that. And then in selected polygons, we'll just have to go and just go and do It's funny, when I first looked at this in your demo, I was thinking, I'm never going to figure this out. And I tried it literally once, and I thought, you know, it's actually really intuitive. I don't know what it is, but this whole node-based thing isn't actually all that bad, I gotta say. Oh, I'm doing it the wrong way around, aren't I? This is Genesis 2, isn't it? Is that true? Did I do it correctly? No, this was Genesis 8. This was Genesis 8. I did it correctly. So sorry, I'm deleting things here I shouldn't have. There. It is just so confusing. Then I'll go with arms, and there's ears, legs, and nails to take care of. Shall we try it? Let's try it, because we're not. It's a good question, Brian. Let's pose them. Let's just wrap them. It's not. We're nearly there. Let's wrap them. Let's go with the ears, or toenails here. There's also are there ears? Ears here. There's also fingernails, and there's legs. Let's try it with wrapping, and then, you know, if that works in principle, we can always try the wrapping out of the equation and see if that goes, how that goes. So I'll try it without point pairs. Floating geometry is this. Fixed geometry is this. And we're not using pairs. Let's see how it goes. Hit compute. Watch the magic. Do you know, yes, that is a really good point, Brian. That's a really good idea, because I think, basically like on a file browser, organization is everything. I had a session with the client yesterday, and he was we've been in touch for many months on and off, and he started working with DAZ Studio literally 10 years ago, but he's never really learned the basics, and you know, he's not super up to speed on how computers, paths and folders work. So he just used, whenever he did a scene, he built a scene in DAZ Studio, he just used file save as, and then just gave it a name and saved it there. But he never really looked at what location that was saving it in. So he thought he had lost all his files. And it's funny, so that we talked, and I think I put him on the right track, but it's just, I suppose my point is that what became apparent, and I suppose us artists, we have this, that organization isn't our strong suit. So anything and everything, just organizing things makes so much sense, and including labeling things and making sure the nodes are in the correct space so that you can recognize them. I totally hear you. I might just do that, so for demo purposes. Good idea. How do you name them? Just like the characters, or do you name it source and destination? Keep it generic? Haha! Let's switch this off, and we have a pretty good looking Genesis 2, Genesis 8 kind of guy, right? Let's do the lattice node. Lattice, I don't know if I think I got it right earlier. The geometry to deform is the original, I think. Then the source deformation is technically, is it this? No, it's not, is it? The source deformation is this, isn't it? And then the target deformation is this, I think. Is that right? It seems to be, because my guy's got eyeballs and stuff. And in fact, you know, it's so good that the eyes have minimal distortion just on the default, so maybe we're okay here. Do you know what no, not 200, no, 10 too much. Dang. Escape not working. Darn. Okay, so yeah, 200 looks great. 200 looks exceptionally good, actually. I think, you know, I'll go with 20 here. Okay, we'll call that good. Fingers and stuff. Are we good here? Yeah, he has fingers. He has toes. What he doesn't have is in fact skin. So let's see how we can make that happen. Skin. I would imagine the I think I will, yes. Yes, I think I might. Let's see, image, transfer texture. That sounds like, you know, the thing we might need. Oh, I was gonna rename my bits and pieces here. So this here is G8. Or I'll maybe call it G8 target. And this is gonna be my G2 source. Just so that we know what's what here. What does the transfer texture node want from me? It wants a source geometry. I suppose that's this. That is my source. It wants a target geometry. I'd imagine that's what's coming out of the lattice node, I'm thinking. And it wants excluded target polygons. Could it be as easy as that? How do I preview this now? Is it on the 2D viewport here? Ooh, okay. Hello. Yes, and then there's like issues here in the eyes and stuff. Right, and now you can go and pick the various UV tiles. Is that's not V, it's of course it's U. Indeed. Brian, this looks promising, doesn't it? And then the nails are probably on another one. Yes, nails and teeth and stuff. This looks promising. And then change the texture resolution. Absolutely, let's do that. Let's make it 4K. 4K in both directions. And then let's just go back to the 0 space here. Do you know, I have a feeling this is an interpolation of my source Genesis guy having open eyes. I think this is what it's trying to do here. Why don't I try let me try something interesting, because I wonder, I could just close this guy's eyes here, much like, you know, I can close Genesis's eyes, and then we have the eyelids properly projected. That might work. Okay, that is also something I can try. Let me try that. So instead of the lattice node, I'll use this geometry here. Let me try that, see what happens. Then that happens. I have a feeling it's probably the open eyes. I think both my figures have open eyes. I mean, it's difficult to see from this guy. Yeah, no, he also has open eyes. Let me try this with closed eyes. I think that we might have just found something. Might be kind of cool. It still might work either way. Oh, the output of the wrap node. I'm sorry, output of the wrap node, and that is going to be my in this, right? Like this. Oh yeah, that is certainly better. It's got rid of that. And we still have eyes issues here. Let me do that. I think maybe that was actually the thing. You know, the thing with the thing. Let me go and put regular textures on this guy just so that I know where the eyelids are. Oops. materials. This guy's materials. iBlink has changed in the between the Genesis 8 and 8.1. So in Genesis 8.0 we have eyes closed. And you don't want to overdo it. You probably just want to do it to exactly 100%. So that your geometry is okay. And then this guy here, he has a similar issue. But in his case, it's in the head. Eyes side side, eyes closed, it's called here. Totally sleepy. There. And one is fine. And the textures have not changed, just the figures. So I'll go and export this guy now as G8 to G2M. Overwrite it all. I don't think we need to collapse anything. He's just on one UV island. Oh, everything is on the same 0 to 1 space. This guy we want to leave as well as he is. G8M. And no materials, but we want to have material zones, of course. Come on, let's do this thing. And this is what I really like about this node-based thing. All I need to really do now is to say Genesis 8 target, just go reload geometry. It does this, and then here, same thing, reload geometry. And then we need to rewrap. And then, you know, we'll see what happens then. Because if that works, I think that would be seriously exciting. I love watching this. This is my favorite part. This is my favorite part. Brian, have you tried something like using the lattice node for unrelated geometry items like clothing? That'd be neat. If we can somehow make that work. I mean, you know what? The Synty guy might be another idea that I can, rather than try to wrap it, I might just use a lattice node. I might just say, you know, source geometry is the Genesis T-pose, target geometry is the Synty T-pose, and, you know, go work it out. We just want to do the lattice thing. We don't want to do proper point matching. Might also be an idea. All these things, you know. How did your render go, by the way? I thought that was a really nice picture that you posted yesterday, that iRay is being used by the GPU for rendering, and then PaintShop Pro is using the CPU and just max it all out. Power supply is going. Okay. Something else we can try later. Okay, here we go. Lattice node transfer texture. This is, I think these might be eyelashes. He's trying to interpolate there, but let me try the original geometry as input into here rather, or the lattice into here. Let's see what happens. Yeah, nothing much. Still trying to do these things. I don't even. This is the tear duct here in the middle, I think. What happens if I use the original? Oh yeah, that is not so good. So let's not use that. Lattice node is this. And I'm not too concerned about these things. I'm actually happy to lose these things. I think like your idea of taking the wrapping node output is probably... Whoops! No, that's not what I meant. No, that's not what I meant. I meant this going into here. I like that. It's a bit cleaner here, and I like losing these things. Well! certainly is converted texture. I don't see any white seams here either. That's very promising. Oh, these are the toenails here, and these are the holes for the toenails. These are the bottoms of the feet. So these textures are... The first time I saw textures like this was in The Sims. When the first version of The Sims came out, I was thinking, what are all these files? And I literally just had a look at everything under the hood and discovered those weird-looking faces, and I thought, ooh, that's crazy. So I don't need to save my geometry out. All I need to do is save my texture output here. I'm thinking load save image. I'm thinking. Let's see what other music we have here. And then will this one, I suppose we're going to have to be texture comp. Let's make a new folder here and call it G8 converted. And I'll say maybe head base, righty. And then compute current frame, I'm thinking. Is that right? And then in here, I would hope. Yes, there he is. Head base, that's nice. Yes, oh my god, yes, absolutely. Ugh. Yeah, I think that was, yeah, I've had this experience when somebody was then explaining UV wrapping to me, and he was using that that taxidermy analogy that, well, you know, it's like, imagine you had a bear and you killed him and you rip him open and you spread all his skin onto a flat plane and make a carpet out of it. And I was thinking, you can't do that to the bear. So yeah, that's oucharoo. Okay, if we just use the diffuse ones, transfer texture 1. This is going to be the body here. Head base, or torso rather. Torso base and compute. Have you done it? Yes, he has. Goody. And then we have what else? There's another thing that we need to look into, Brian, that we need to be able to turn this into like a multi-frame procedure here. That'd be good. It's no biggie to do this the way we do this now, but if only we could do it faster, including the other maps, like the, you know, normal maps and stuff like that. Arms. Gotcha. Oops, no, sorry. Oh no, what did I do? Oh, I've wiped it out. I shouldn't have done that. Legs are still the legs. I just went a little bit. Yeah, do you know, this is what we can do over Christmas. Do you want to do it tomorrow? Shall we try tomorrow? I have all day. So that's that. Do we have anything else? I think we have a fifth one. It's probably the... That was that. Number 4 was... No, we don't have 4. So then that's all of them. So then, whoops. That is all of them. So then we can go and see if we can apply those guys to this guy. So, like, you know, arms and stuff. Arms base goes into here. Certainly looks correct. Since we don't have anything else. Cornea, ears, eye moisture, face. Let's go try face. Face base. Ding. Face base. Gotcha. Fingernails. I think that's also under arms then. Let's do that. Irises, lips. I think lips are on our face thing, aren't they? Oh no, that wasn't good. Maybe that's not how it works. Maybe lips in Genesis 8 work differently. Oh, that's legs. I'm so sorry. Did I say lips? Did I misread lips and legs? Dang. Lips, there's lips. Lips is where the face is, so that goes into here, I think. Mouth, pupils, sclera, teeth, toenails. Toenails, that's got to be on here. Like so. And then we have the torso. Torso is this. Seam lines we also have. Hey, that's uncool. That's not so good. That could be the underlying thing. It could also be that my textures are not bleeding out as much as they should. We have a bot. Oh my goodness, I didn't even see him. Totally nipped it in the bot there already. Very good. Extrapolate texture node after the transfer node to pad out. Oh my god, they have that as well. All right. That's under image. Extrapolate texture. Wow, Brian, that is really cool. Oh my god, really? They do that? And so this basically adds just padding on the outside of the... Oops, it's still... Nope, froze. Dang. So that just adds... So there we go. That just adds that padding on the outside. I'd love to see some adjustments here, but no, it just goes and does it overall, I suppose. And then as a result, legs base. Is that actually what we're doing? That is legs, isn't it? Yes, legs. Good stuff. Compute. So how would we... So this is great. Let's just go and overdo this here. That, and then we go here now. That was the arms. I'm so sorry. Dang. It's a shame. Might as well just call it arms. And be done with it. Arms. Yes, automating this would be good. So I thought these were the arms. What's going on? No, these were the legs. These are the legs. Perfect. So then we say, obviously the more nodes you add, the more this guy has to calculate. So, oh, my character. Oh, I see. Sorry, I didn't. I thought bot as in, you know, it's an evil bot. But yeah, I mean, this is a way that we can all transfer textures from older characters to newer characters. And yes, torso. All right. But it would be nice if there's an automation for this. Torso, and then the 0th one is going to be the face. I like it. Loading it in, extrapolating it, then, you know, doodling it around, and boom, there it is. That's nice. I like it. Face. Compute current frame. Compute frame rate. This is all very, very cool. Oh, do you know what? How do I actually set the... How do I set the output format? I mean, I'm saving it as PNG and there's a quality here, but I don't see a way to now save this as a PNG, for example. How does that work? Can I just call it PNG? Just out of curiosity, if I do this, is it actually going to save it in PNG format now? Or is it still a JPEG with the ending PNG? Just, you know, just thought that might be interesting because this directory here just says supported image formats. I suppose, can I just maybe just change it here? Is that how it works? That's probably how it works, I would imagine. You just pick it and then it just goes and does it, maybe? I'll see what happens just by compute current frame. If we see if we have one JPEG and one PNG. Without postwork, that's true, that's true. So, and then here, this is another tip for you, Brian. In case you've ever done this and the maps are just overwritten, there's a thing in here that says refresh images, Control I, and then it should just go and load everything back. And usually it kind of does work, but it only worked for the torso, not for the other ones. So to refresh all the channels, you just go and click all the surfaces. And just do this. Dude, come on. Super lame. Do you have to really do it one by one? That's mega annoying. That used to work overall, you know. It just used to work for everything. There's also an option here that says automatically refresh images. And that should just recognize if something's changed on the outside and then just go and do it. It goes and tries most of it, but it's just not going through them one by one, which is a shame. And actually it's trying this. On the legs, they flash up every once in a while. Maybe it's still working on it, I don't know. Could also be because they're different characters, essentially, that there's a little bit of post-production that's necessary to just eliminate those seams. That's possible. Yeah, because the torso now, that should be fixed at this point, shouldn't it? Yeah, looks like it's as good as it can get. But I'm okay with it. I mean, that's, you know, that's nice. It does actually, now that you mention it, it does actually look suspiciously like all the characters that had some kind of facial bling on, right? on Cyberpunk. But it's neat. I mean, it's, you know, Genesis 2 maps on Genesis 8. That is very cool. We can do it with the shape, we can do it with the maps. It's great. Yes, if we can figure out a way to make this happen automatically, that'd be really cool. Yes. Hey, awesome. My friends, thank you so much for dropping by. I'm going to go and rate Chris now, if he is indeed live. I don't know if he is. I don't think he's, so he's streaming now. Perfect. I'm going to go and rate him, and I will be back tomorrow around about 4 o'clock, maybe 5 p.m., something like that, depending on how my day goes. It's been awesome meeting you. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and I will hopefully see you tomorrow. Take care.